May is Asthma Month, and it's estimated that there are 4.6 million Canadians currently living with asthma, with roughly 500,000 suffering from severe asthma. Dr. Ken Chapman joins us this morning to shed some light on what can be a life-threatening and chronic disease. Doctor, it's good to see you, and thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with, I think a lot of us are familiar with, the idea of asthma, but maybe break down for us what really happens in the body and with the lungs in particular for those who suffer from it.
Asthma simply means having sensitive breathing passages. If someone doesn't have asthma, goes out on a cold day, it's cold, but nothing particular happens with the lungs. If somebody with asthma goes out and breathes in some cold air, the breathing tubes tighten up. There's breathlessness, wheezing, and there may be a cough. It's the sort of thing that doctors will treat with typically inhaled therapy, and we've all seen those little blue inhalers floating around, sometimes a little too often.
What do you mean by that? Because we all are familiar with the inhalers, the little blue inhalers, and that is what makes breathing easier for people who suffer from asthma. But what do you mean by too often that we're seeing these?
We're concerned that many people with asthma are the walking wounded. They use the quick fix, this little blue inhaler, and if you use it every once in a while, once or twice a month, that's not too bad. But if you're relying on it, if you're using it daily, if you go through more than a couple in a year, then your asthma's out of control. These are the people who can't participate in the fitness class because they'll wheeze. They can't ski with the grandchildren because they'll wheeze. These are the people who wake up at night wheezing and coughing. That's a life that's somewhat controlled by asthma, and a surprising number of asthma patients will just adapt to that. They'll grow accustomed to thinking that's life with asthma, when we know that almost all of those symptoms, if not all of those symptoms, can be prevented.
Is what you're describing there, is that severe asthma? What is the difference between asthma and severe asthma?
You're right. There is a special category, and you alluded to that. People who need to be rescued in the walk-in clinic and in the emergency room from multi-day flare-ups where the symptoms are severe and the inhalers aren't working, those are the people that concern us. They receive typically treatment with prednisone, cortisone pills, steroids. Nobody likes taking steroids, and the myth is, well, it's only 5 days, so it won't hurt. Except that more and more of those courses year after year build up, and side effects do happen. And the sad thing is, we've got special new treatments, we call them biologic treatments, that can turn that around, can make asthma almost disappear for the right, carefully selected severe asthma patient.
And are these treatments what you're calling game changers?
Absolutely. They are medications that people will inject at home every 2, 4, 6, or 8 weeks, and they will make, again, in the right patient, asthma almost disappear, the need for prednisone disappear. It's available through specialists only, and a lot of people don't know that they need to get back to their healthcare provider, to their family doctor, to say, hey, this isn't working. Do you realize I've had cortisone pills twice or 3 times this year? Family doctor may not know. He or she may not have prescribed them. They arrived elsewhere in the emergency room, in the walk-in clinic. And so patients need to stand up and say, hey, I hear that my asthma is kind of severe. Maybe we should talk about that.
Just finally, what would your piece of advice be for those that are currently battling asthma? They have asthma. What would you advise them?
Have a close look at your life and see if there's anything you can't do because of your asthma. If you're using this little blue inhaler, are you using it too frequently? Again, more than once or twice a month. And heavens, if you are running to the walk-in clinic or the emergency room to be rescued by prednisone, cortisone pills, speak to your healthcare provider. There are things that can be done to prevent all of those symptoms.
And your quality of life can improve.
Tremendous changes in quality of life. It's exciting.
All right. Dr. Chapman, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right.
This portion of the morning show is brought to you by Sanofi.